Serial entrepreneur and investor Aakash Anand has announced the launch of Wolfpack Labs. With Wolfpack Labs, he aims to reduce the barrier to entry for early-stage startup founders by enabling them with the right resources and guidance required to rapidly scale their ventures. Now, the venture studio model increases the chances of success by distributing risk across various projects. So Wolfpack Labs will focus on early-stage startups that are currently in their 0 to 1 phase. Joining me now is the man himself, Aakash Anand, the founder and managing partner of Wolfpack Labs. Aakash, thank you so much for taking our time and being on the show today. You know, as I said, you're a serial entrepreneur and an investor. You've launched Wolfpack Labs. So what are you bringing to the table? What's the investment thesis for you?
Hey, Ananta, thanks for having me here. And I think what I bring to the table is I am a founder turned investor turned mentor for a lot of startups, for a lot of entrepreneurs. And I've done that a lot in my journey while building BellaVita and other brands that we run at Ananta Capital. However, at Wolfpack Labs, the idea is very simple. Young entrepreneurs or new entrepreneurs find it very hard and don't have the right direction to, get their 0 to 1 journey done in a very easy way. And that's what we bring to the table. So I believe that capital is the cheapest source available. I mean, it's the easiest source available. So we're not just capital partners. We make sure that the money we invest in every startup, apart from the money, along with the money, there's guidance, there's hand-holding, there's step-by-step, there's just step-by-step guidance on how to do, what to do, when to do. And we create and we ensure all the startups that are incubated under Wolfpack Labs within 6 months are GTM ready, have the right PMF, have the right MVP, and are a perfect fit to either get funded by VCs, private equities, or family offices.
Right.
So it makes it very easy for entrepreneurs.
So bringing like a sort of a holistic approach there, getting a company ready. Correct. You said capital is the cheapest part, but I'm going to have to ask you, you're currently using your own private funds to invest in these startups. So how much Correct. Have you earmarked for these investments? And will you be bringing any investors onto the cap table?
So I put in 50 crores of my own personal capital. The idea is for me to do this myself, experiment myself, and not to be answerable to other people for now. But yes, once we have successful cohorts, maybe 2 of them, that's about 10 companies, then we'll be opening this up for different LPs. The industry has been very kind to me. There are great people who want to back Wolfpack Labs, but I think we want to give it a try, give it a shot with our own capital. And once we've proven success, we'd be open to getting LPs on board.
So once successful, that's 10 companies later, then you're open for more investment. But, give us a sense of the kind of sectors you're eyeing through this venture. What's looking exciting at this point? What's the average ticket size? And you said 5 companies per cohort, right?
Correct. So look at the sectors agnostic. We're not sector, right. We're not sector dependent, but we are founder focused. Right. Any founder doing a great job in any sector, we're happy to help them out. And that's how great companies are built, because startups do pivot. But founders are the backbone of a startup. So as long as the founder is great, they've got the grit, they've got the muscle, we're happy to back them independent of the sector they're operating at.
Right. So it's the founders that you're looking at. So, have you already identified a few startups to start investing in? So tell me who you're in talks with and what's the selection criteria here? Of course, founders being number 1, but apart from that as well?
So we've done about 6 startups already that we are now incubating. They're in various different sectors, starting from interior design to food to consumer, etc., etc. One's also in travel. We look at the TAM, we look at the founder, we look at whether the problem is big enough to be solved or not. And if it is, we look at the TAM. TAM is a total addressable market. As long as the market is big enough, where even a 1% can create a dent or create great numbers for the company, we dive right in.
Right, and could you give us the names of these startups that you have invested in that's part of your first cohort?
Not right now. That's something we'd be launching very, very soon, and we'd like to do it properly with the right announcements per startup so that all the founders get their due share of kudos and appreciation.
All right.
And how will you invite me again if I just tell them now?
Fair enough. So we'll call you back to find out the names then at that point. But, in addition to your role at BellaVita, you're also actively involved in other ventures and serve as a partner at Ananta Capital, among many other things that you're doing. So what are the kind of challenges that early stage startup founders typically face? And how do you help them navigate this using, obviously, your past learnings, right? Founder to investor. So how has your journey helped in helping them overcome their challenges?
I love talking about examples, and let me give you one. One of the biggest challenges founders face is the right direction. I'll give you a real-time example. A company we incubated recently, I met the founder after 4 days, and I asked him, what have you been up to? The founder said, I was busy making a pitch deck, right? Now imagine a founder who's got capital, who should be working on a project, is actually busy making a pitch deck. And a small help from us telling the founder that, listen, don't waste your time making a pitch deck right now. Spend that energy in making the right product. And once you've got a product that's going to be loved by consumers, you would not really need a pitch deck. All those things around the company or around the product can happen later, but the first focus has to be getting your product right. And there's a lot of noise in the industry, which founders do listen to and get defocused. So it's very important for us to make sure they are given a step-by-step direction and what to do when. That was just a small example.
All right, so that's how you're helping them. But, I know you're sector agnostic, but artificial intelligence has been the theme that everybody is talking about, and that's what's going to be the next thing to shake up the industry, right? So what's your view on artificial intelligence, generative AI, and how it's going to shake up the startup world?
I mean, everything is getting on AI now. Everything is getting on AI and machine learning. In fact, a lot of startups we are building, so we're building one in the interior design space, that depends a lot on AI and machine learning, where our bots will be able to provide interior design, solutions to clients. And more than AI being disruptive, it is how people would be able to use them properly to disrupt various industries. AI is only as good as the user who's using them, as the people who are programming them to have the right learning and have the right, deployment of the learning that they do. So AI, definitely, yeah, of course, is going to disrupt everything.
Yeah, and is that a theme that you're excited about?
I think out of the 5-6 startups we're incubating, 3 of them use AI massively for everything that we do.
All right. Great. Aakash, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. And we wish you all the best with this new venture of yours.
Thank you so much, Ananta. Pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right, with that, it's time for us to head into a short break. But coming up, Entrepreneur First recently announced that 5 Indian companies will be a part of its latest global program to boost their funding plans. A special conversation on the other side. Stay tuned.